Welcome to Full Measure. I'm Sharyl Attkisson. Today we take an eye-opening trip to the border. Most Americans today say stricter border control is a top concern. A Rasmussen Report survey this February found 59% of likely voters think gaining control of the border should be the priority when it comes to immigration reform. An April Rasmussen Report survey found 42% of all voters support presumptive Republican nominee Donald Trump's plan to build a wall along the Mexican border. That number's down from the February survey. We decided to head south to Arizona to see the state of the fence today. We discovered one aspect that's been overshadowed in the conversation about immigration reform: all the drugs. One look, and it's clear why securing America's southern border is such a huge challenge. Protecting Arizona's 372-mile-long boundary shared with Mexico are 1,600 federal agents.
Come on, buddy.
And in Cochise County, 88 deputies led by Sheriff Mark Daniels.
These rural parts, these open seams we call it, they're wide open. That should be scary to every citizen hearing this.
Daniels says one thing has gotten lost in the discussion about illegal immigration: the growing drug smuggling problem. And he has some shocking news for America.
There's been a big question here on the border: who actually controls it? Is it the federal government, or is it the cartels and transnational organizations?
Who is it?
I have to say it's a lot of cartels decide who comes across that border. And right now it's not for those looking for that better way of life. It's those actually come across to commit crimes and smuggle and victimize our citizens. I have a problem with that.
In Arizona, he says drug smuggling has never been worse, with an alarming uptick in meth, opium, and heroin.
Heroin smells like vinegar. Heroin is potent.
These drugs are making their way into Detroit. They're making their way into Los Angeles. They're making their way into New York. They're making their way into Kansas City, into the suburbs.
The real story of the border is one of unintended consequences. Sheriff Daniels says for decades, the feds have put the most effort and the biggest fences near official entry points. And that's driven the drug traffic to the less protected countryside.
They routed that illegal activity, the smuggling, the cartels, and into the rural parts with the idea that, hey, they wouldn't be able to conquer through those rural parts of the southwest border. Well, you come up to current times 20 years later, and they've conquered, they've overcome, and they rather enjoy working in the cover and concealment of the desert, the mountainous areas.
To see for ourselves, we flew by helicopter to some of the most rugged and desolate terrain along Arizona's border with Mexico. How often do you see Border Patrol while you're flying?
It's hit or miss, unfortunately. But as you can see, we'll fly quite a distance, several miles, and maybe not see any at all.
But I assume that the drug dealers know that.
Oh, you bet they know that.
We landed at one of two border ranches owned by Howard Buffett, son of multi-billionaire businessman Warren Buffett, and an unlikely soldier in the border wars.
We are probably pretty much in the heart of prime drug trafficking activity here.
You knew that when you bought it?
Oh yeah, no, I knew it when we were, yeah.
Buffett bought the ranch land in part to conserve it, but also to become a stakeholder in the border fight, which he's become deeply involved in.
Border Patrol's dealing with a topography that at times seems impossible. So I mean, you can beat up the Border Patrol on this, but the truth is, you know, it's
the Wild West.
It's the Wild West, and it's an incredibly challenging environment.
It's not hard to see why it's a trafficking hotspot. In the hours here, there was no sign of Border Patrol. We did see how easy it is to cross.
Oh yeah.
See the pole off the ground, see what's been pushed down?
Flimsy wire is the only thing separating Mexican drug smugglers from the U.S.
The bottom line is that we do not have the drug traffic coming across our border under control.
The fence symbolizes America's seemingly erratic approach to border security. Near the port of entry at Douglas, Arizona, you'll find a single fence right next to a more formidable double fence and ditch.
I mean, I grew up here.
Border Patrol agent Art Del Cueto is the Tucson Sector Union president and represents agents. He's not a spokesman for Border Patrol.
This is what they want the the nation to see. They want to see this fence.
A tall fence.
A tall fence, a secure fence. You know, you have agents, you have cameras, you have everything, lights throughout this area. So this is what they want the country to see, and it makes you feel secure. It makes you feel like, you know, everything's okay. But the reality is, if you go further out where they won't take you, there's still spots where there's hardly any fence.
Well, why isn't there barbed wire on the top or razor wire or something?
I mean, what we've been told and what has been explained to us is that at times if people are jumping over, it would cause issues. So that's why we don't have those type of deterrents.
So we don't have the barbed wire on top because we don't want to hurt anybody who comes across.
Correct.
From the sky, we see where the border fence is more marker than barrier and where it abruptly disappears.
If you're going to secure the border, secure the border. This is a Band-Aid right here.
Not far away on the Mexico side,
This ranch right here on the right's a stage place for the cartels.
so the gap in the fence is right by the staging place for the cartels.
Yep.
We make decisions on the type of fencing based upon the threat that we see for that area.
Commander Paul Beeson is in charge of the Border Patrol's Tucson sector.
In some areas, the threat has been from vehicles driving across. And so really, the fencing that's more appropriate there is that Normandy style fencing, because that's there to stop vehicles. If people cross there, we have time. We have the ability to interdict them. They're not going to reach a community in minutes to seconds.
Many smugglers are captured. Law enforcement recently arrested 24 members of Mexico's powerful Sinaloa cartel in an effort dubbed Operation Diablo Express. But untold numbers slip by, and surveillance video reveals the criminals' creative range. These suspected cartel members recorded themselves jacking up a section of border fence. They scurry underneath and close it like a garage door. Others easily scale the fence or just cut right through it. Some drive right over the fence using a portable ramp. This Jeep got stuck on top. The suspected smugglers ran south. And there's one more option, moving drugs under the border in secret tunnels. One of the longest and newest was discovered last year inside a shed in a Naco, Arizona neighborhood. The hydraulics operating the lid were remotely controlled from Mexico. For all of this, ranchers and residents pay a price. What's the sign up for?
The sign was posted by the U.S. Forest Service to warn people about the area, that there is criminal activity being smuggling and illegal immigration.
We live a few hundred yards from here.
Recreational activities like a family cookout in the local park are carried out with reminders of possible dangers lurking nearby. Does the discussion over drug smuggling, immigration, human trafficking impact your life at all, your daily life?
I mean, we've done a lot of service projects where we go up and clean up after the illegals that come through. You know, they leave their trash all over the place, and we go out there and try to clean up after them. But most of the time they want to stay out of the city and stay away because they don't want to be caught. They don't want to be seen. So they're trying to get north to I-10 so they can get on the highway.
Some residents live with near constant intrusions. Smugglers seeking money and guns break into the same homes over and over.
That happened in Washington, D.C. or any metropolitan area in this country, that half the homes are being broken into. I guarantee there'd be a change.
There is a tragic impact of U.S. border policy when it comes to juvenile drug smugglers. When we return, light or no sentences for juveniles is prompting cartels to recruit kids as young as 13 to transport marijuana and heroin on dangerous journeys through the desert.